What's up everyone? Welcome back to MMU Reviews. Today, we are doing a massive, deep dive review of one of the biggest movies of 2026, Supergirl. Before we say anything else, let me give you a 100% guarantee. This review is totally spoiler-free. I am not going to tell you the ending. I am not going to tell you about the big twists. I am not going to reveal any surprise characters or deaths. If you have not seen the movie yet, you are completely safe. You can watch this whole video to help you decide if you should spend your hard-earned money on a movie ticket. Today, we are just talking about my pure experience, my honest reactions, the acting, the music, and the overall vibe of the film. So, let's start from the very beginning. Let's talk about walking into the theater. The hype for this movie has been insane for months. We all saw the trailers, and we all knew this was not going to be a normal, bright, happy superhero movie. The director promised something different. He promised a rough, dusty, space western story. When the lights went down in the cinema, you could feel the excitement in the room. Everyone was quiet. Everyone was waiting to see if this new direction would actually work. Right from the first 5 to 10 minutes, the movie hits you with a very specific feeling. It feels lonely. It feels big, but it also feels very quiet and empty in a beautiful way. You immediately realize that this version of Kara Zor-El is not living a happy life on Earth. She is out there in the deep, dark, dangerous corners of space. My initial reaction was just pure awe. The movie does not waste time trying to look like every other superhero movie. It immediately shows you that it has its own identity. Let's break down the main star of the show. We have to talk about Millie Alcock as Supergirl. This is a huge role for any actor. Millions of people love this character, so the pressure on her was massive. But let me tell you right now, she absolutely crushed it. She is incredible. When you watch her on screen, she does not just feel like a strong person who can fly and punch through walls. She feels like someone who carries a lot of pain. If you think about her history, her entire home planet was destroyed. She remembers that destruction. She saw it happen. Millie Alcock shows that pain perfectly through her acting. She doesn't even need to speak to show you how she feels. You can see it in her eyes. You can see it in the way she stands. She looks tired, she looks angry, but she also looks like she will never, ever give up. It is a very realistic and grounded performance. Then, we have the dynamic between Supergirl and the young girl, Ruthie. This relationship is the heart and soul of the entire movie. Ruthie is a young character who is looking for justice, and she ends up traveling with Supergirl across the universe. Their interactions are amazing. You have this incredibly powerful alien who has seen the worst parts of life, and you have this young girl who is full of determination. The movie spends a lot of time just letting them talk to each other. They sit down by campfires on strange planets, and they talk about life, loss, and pain. These quiet moments were actually my favorite parts of the movie. They make you care about the characters so much more than a standard explosion scene ever could. Let's talk about the bad guys and the dark side of this world. The villain in this movie feels very dangerous, but not because he has giant lasers or a massive army. He feels dangerous because he is cruel and mean. When he is on screen, the mood of the movie completely changes. You feel uncomfortable. You feel like something bad is about to happen at any second. The film does a great job of making the stakes feel real. You genuinely feel worried for the characters because the universe they live in is so unforgiving and harsh. Now, let's move on to the visuals, the planets, and the scenery. This movie is a masterpiece to look at. Lately, a lot of big blockbusters look very gray, dark, and boring because of too much computer graphics. This movie is the exact opposite. The colors are beautiful and bright. You see skies that are deep red, orange, and purple. The planets feel like real places you could actually visit. They feel dirty, dusty, and lived in. It feels like a real space frontier. The way the camera moves is also very special. The director uses wide shots to show you how small the characters are compared to the giant planets they are exploring. It makes the journey feel incredibly long and difficult. When an action scene happens, the camera doesn't shake like crazy. You can see every punch, every kick, and every movement perfectly. The action feels very heavy. When Supergirl hits something, or when she gets hit, you can almost feel the impact in your own seat. It feels raw and powerful. We also have to talk about the sound design and the music score. Music can make or break a movie, and the score for this film is top tier. It uses a lot of strange, alien-sounding electronic music mixed with big, sad orchestral instruments. During the tense moments, the music gets very quiet and creepy, which makes your heart race. During the emotional scenes, the music opens up and becomes beautiful, which almost made me tear up a couple of times. It fits the space western vibe perfectly. Let's discuss the pacing and how the story flows. The movie is just under 2 hours long. In a world where every superhero movie is 3 hours long, this felt so refreshing. The movie does not waste a single minute. There are no boring scenes that feel like filler. Every scene either tells you something important about the characters or moves the story forward. It moves at a steady pace that keeps you hooked from the first minute to the very last second. The themes of the story are also very deep but easy to understand. The movie talks a lot about the difference between revenge and justice. It asks a big question: if someone hurts you, does hurting them back fix anything? Watching the characters struggle with this question is incredibly interesting. It makes the movie feel like a serious piece of sci-fi storytelling rather than just a simple action flick. Overall, my final experience with this movie was amazing. I walked out of the theater feeling completely satisfied. It took a lot of big risks with the tone and the characters, and every single risk paid off. Millie Alcock is officially a superstar, and this movie is a huge win for cinema in 2026. If you have the chance, go see it on the biggest screen you can find. It is absolutely worth it. But now, I want to hear your thoughts. Are you excited to see this movie? Do you like this darker, more realistic style for a superhero? Leave a comment down below and let's start a conversation. Just remember to keep the comments completely spoiler-free so we don't ruin the fun for anyone else in the MMU community. If you like this deep dive review, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe to MMU Reviews for more honest movie reviews and breakdowns. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.